Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Valecast. My name is Sybil. Today I'm joined by Callum. Say hello, Callum.
Hello, Simo. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, mate. As always, this show is brought to you by Motive. We're here for you on Thursdays and Fridays. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really does help support the show. We've got some cool stuff today. We're gonna review the Wick game. Not so cool, but we have our new star striker coming on for an interview. That's very cool. Young Caiden, Imbert-Thomas, and we're going to ask him a few questions that we've received in from the Vale fans. But first of all, I think we should go over the Wick game. A frustrating game from what everything I've read online. Obviously, I couldn't make it. Still down here in Glasgow. But we probably deserved a wee bit more. And the game was won in moments, and there's obviously a bit of a goal fest as well. But why don't you
No,
tell us a little
definitely.
bit about it?
Well, that's what I said last week. So I'm not, well, happy to be proved right, but obviously not happy with the result. So
Yeah.
we said there'd be goals, and there was 7 of them in total.
Hmm.
On the wrong end of a 4-3 or a 3-4. If ever a game needed 15 minutes of injury time, I think it was probably that one, wasn't it? So,
Hmm.
because again, it just shows. I think it's a perfect way of summing up the fighting spirit that's in that squad. I mean, there's not many teams will go, 4-0, 4-1 down and still be fighting to the very last second. So I think that in terms of positives to take away from it, it's certainly that. That heads didn't go down. That they didn't just think, right, we're 4-1 down, and that's the end of that. They did make it a very very nervy finish for Wick in the end, and came close to an equaliser as well. Just in the dying seconds, and just wasn't to be, unfortunately. But yeah, entertaining game. I mean, from a neutral perspective, um, you know, fans getting back in and all that kind of stuff. It's not a bad game to kick off with again. So yeah, from that side of things, another great advert for football. But yeah, just one of those days where it went against us rather than, as I say, nicking that last minute equaliser, last second equaliser, or even picking up all 3 points. So yeah, so overall, obviously, results not great from a spectacle and even performance point of view. Again, strong. I would say, the boys have again done themselves justice. Um, just wasn't to be on the day.
Hmm. Hmm. I think it's even more frustrating when you kind of mount a comeback as sort of brave as they did,
Yeah,
and and you don't get over the line. You don't get your point and you don't get your 3 points, and it's ever so frustrating. But you did call it. You said goals, and obviously it was delivered. And I think it's good game to sort of return if you're looking at it from a neutral perspective,
hmm,
which obviously we aren't. We have a new striker sat in the green room. Shall we bring him in, Callum?
excellent.
Thank you very much for joining us on Valecast, Caden.
It's all right. Thank you for having me.
That's all right. So we've had a few questions come in for our supporters. Obviously, you've seen the response. I'm sure you've seen the response on social media. There's a lot of people excited to have you at Deveronvale. But you kind of, what did you think of the response? Did you expect such a big response?
No, not really, because when I did look at the socials, it wasn't that lively.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I did see when the post did go up, there was a lot of likes and comments and retweets, which was good to have because it's nice to be wanted somewhere. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, it's a fresh start for me, so hopefully, I can come here and keep them happy and be proud. Like I had a good communication with the fans at Huntley as well, so um, it's something that I like doing, being involved in the fans and around the club.
Good, good.
Excellent. Well, no, I mean, we're really happy to have you here, Caden. There's no denying that. And I think, in terms of a quick question, just to kind of let everybody know how this all came about, I suppose, really how you've ended up playing in the red and white. Yeah, maybe just talk us through how the move developed and how you've now found yourself in the Vale team.
Oh, so obviously, when I was at Huntley, with a lot of the squad was kind of big, so there was a lot of players coming and going, and then it was just really mainly just being like the manager was honest with me and said that the style of football that they play and the style of football that I play didn't really fit into each other as he wanted it to, which was obviously it was sad to hear, but at the same time, as a manager, he was very honest and he told me why I wasn't starting games and playing as much as we both thought that I would do. So he said to me, obviously he knew that I moved to Scotland to play football and climb the leagues and do well. So he said to me that if there's an opportunity for you to go, then I will allow it to happen, because I did still have some time on my contract. So I reached out to a few people, one of them being not manager Craig, a different Craig, who spoke to the manager Craig, and he said to me that Deveronvale was interested to see you, and I had played against you but twice previously, and I did like the style that you play. Like, you get the ball forward, you use the wide men, get the ball in the box. It's my type of game. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like getting on the ball and running at players and getting involved in them ways. So when I spoke to the manager and I went training, and after that it was history. Everything got sorted from there.
Brilliant.
Excellent,
Brilliant.
excellent. So you and your brother now both playing the same colours, both in red and white. You've
Yeah.
moved up to Scotland to progress your football career. For those of you who don't know, Caiden, your brother is a player at Aberdeen, so you're quite near to him now. I should imagine it'd be quite good to get advice from your older brother on how to adapt your game and climb these Scottish leagues.
Yeah, so obviously, main thing for us was not playing. Well, to be honest, it wasn't that many games that I didn't play, but coming towards the end of my time being there, a few games that we had trialists come in and that sort of stuff. So when managers got to pick a team, you got to pick, like, there was people being left out the squad, there was people who were starting, who was going on the bench, and where I was on the bench, he just said to me, like, look, I need to have a look at these players. So my brother did turn around and say that it's good to get a move where you're going to be playing, but you need to go somewhere that you're going to be playing, and that's going to help you put that play, really. And then so he was happy with the fact that I'm playing. Obviously, it's good to be in red and white. It's two of my favourite colours, so it's nice.
That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. So, I mean, we've had a few questions come in from supporters on the social media and through the club website. So, I'll maybe start off with one. You know, talking about moving up to Scotland to progress your career. What do you see being the big differences between Highland League football and the football that you experienced while playing in England?
The main difference for me is you don't have as much time on the ball. Like how teams defend in England, to not all teams, but most teams, like, you go to pressure man, but you're not like in Scotland, people are just flying through you, like they're getting stuck in. Tackles are flying left, right, and centre. Whereas in England, you can take a touch and get your head up, and you still got a little bit of time. They might shut off the line or they might show you inside. But in Scotland, like, they're just in on you straight away. So it's that you need to be ready as soon as you get on the ball, which I've adapted to. The last game kind of showed, like, I didn't get hit with that many tackles, and I was able to actually turn on the ball and run at players and get by. But I did struggle with it in the beginning.
Oh, good, good. Well, hopefully, as you say, as you get more experience of playing at this level and obviously become more comfortable, you know, with your new teammates and things like that as well, then, you know, we'll be able to see, you know, the skills and tricks and everything like that I'm sure you'll come with as well. And
Yeah, definitely.
hopefully sticking the ball in the back of the net a few times as well. So, in terms of, you know, looking now at being part of Deveronvale, obviously new club, new teammates. What are your kind of immediate targets for, well, I suppose, really for the rest of this season, and then looking at the next couple of seasons after that? What are you hoping to achieve in the red and white?
So for the club, obviously, and the manager set his goal, and I don't know if I could say it, but obviously to sustain that goal and make it happen, and that's really just in the table where we finish at the end of the season. And then for me personally, to get a few goals and some stats behind me and be like a starting player, like play 90 minutes every week, be like a main player for the team, that people know, all right, cool, that he can go and do something when we need him to do it, because that's what you want to do when you play football, really. And then hopefully in the future, like something higher might really come along.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
hey, if we can get all of that while we've got you, then, you know, that sounds good to me. I know certainly Craig's got good ambitions. As we do look to climb the league and hopefully progress to the business end of cup competitions in the future as well. So if we can have you as part of that, then that would be great for everybody, I'm sure, and gives you an opportunity to impress those who are maybe watching from a higher level as well.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Simo, anything from your side at all?
Yeah, I was just going to touch on you. Obviously, you're a heavily ambitious player, Caiden, and that's really exciting to have players with your mentality at the club. And we've spoken, me and Callum, on Valecast quite a lot about how ambitious this squad is and how it's grown throughout the season from where we started to where we are now. We're in a much better place. How is it to join a squad that matches your ambitions, that wants to be better, that wants to be up at that top end of the table?
It's good because you can never really take your foot off the gas. A lot of people are happy to be in one place and stay in one place and just happy to survive in the league. And obviously, it's good to be around players that want to do better or in a team that wants to go higher or go further in a cup run because it pushes you and everyone knows that there's competition every week in training and on the pitch. So it's if you go out and you have a bad game, in your head you're going to be annoyed because potentially the following week you might not start the game, you might not get on because someone else has got their chance, and if they take their chance, then you don't know when you're next going to be back in that squad. But then it pushes you to do better. It pushes you to play better, train better, and keep your eye in the window, keep yourself in the windows.
Absolutely, Caiden. Caiden, thank you. Well, just before I let you go there, Callum, any other questions?
Yeah, so there's been two really quick final questions that have come in, and we'll start with this first one here. In terms of, you speak obviously about wanting to play at a higher level, which is fantastic to hear. In terms of professional footballers and the kind of the icons of the game, I suppose, is there any particular player that you look up to for inspiration, or feel that the style of play that you have is something that they've set the example for you?
Look up to. I don't really have a specific person player apart from really my brother because it's been first hand. I've seen him from obviously Arsenal to here, really, the different stages, the different levels, the tough times, the good times. So obviously I've been able to see the lifestyle and everything that I've wanted for myself to be able to provide for others and everything, and all the opportunities it gives you outside of football as well. Style of play, I don't know. I would say little bits and bobs from all different wingers because I would like to see myself as being something unique and different. Do you know what I mean? So I would let the fans kind of decide that themselves, really.
Well, we'll chat again about that at the end of the season and see who we're thinking. But no, that's brilliant. And then just the last question that came in, quite an interesting one, possibly depending on the answer. But do you have a special routine or any superstitions or anything like that on a match day?
On a match day, I wake up, put music on. That's the first thing I do. I'll put music on, have a little something to eat early in the morning, and then I won't eat again until after the game. Before the game, I just I kind of zone out. I put on music that just kind of gets me in a zone. Some music, up before I go out, it would be more upbeat. That's getting me ready for it. Before, when I first come in, it will probably be a little bit more aggressive, just so I've realised that when I play and my mind's more aggressive, I get stuck in more. So that when it's time to hold up the ball and that sort of stuff, I'm ready to go. Whereas before, sometimes you go onto the pitch and you're not focused, you get hit with a tackle and you're oh, I wasn't expecting that. And your first touch is always a main thing in a game. If you have a bad first touch, you think that the rest of the game is going to be bad. Whereas if you have a good one, it leads you on to doing more and more stuff throughout the game. And that's Absolutely. It, really.
Right, Caiden. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure we're going to speak to you quite a lot as the season progresses, and as you spend your time here at Vale. But until next time, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Well, there you have it, folks. Caiden Imbert-Thomas, a brand new striker at the club. I don't know about you, Callum. I've got a good feeling about this one. He's exactly the type of player we've been talking about that we wanted at the club. Those players that are not just happy to be playing semi-professional football. They want to progress in this league. They want to progress their careers. I want that competition for places in the squad. And I want that. That's the attitude that I feel that this club deserves.
I couldn't agree more, and I think it's it's brilliant to have that attitude and that kind of ambition. Obviously for Caden, he's in a bit of a unique position as well. Obviously, looking up to his older brother, who has had a successful professional career and still going, obviously. But he obviously wants that for himself. He doesn't. He just doesn't want to be in his brother's shadow, and we're very very rightly so. I would say looking to forge his own career now. So. I think he's a fantastic addition to the team. And I think if he can excite the fans, get the boys further up the park, get the ball in the back of the net a few times himself. I know he's kind of positioning himself on the wings there. He can do a perfectly good job right down the middle as well. So, offers us a wee bit of variety, I suppose, in what our attacking formation looks like. I'm sure that's something that Craig was thinking about as well when this opportunity came up. Craig's obviously done his homework on Caiden and knows what he'll bring. So yeah, really excited to see him. Obviously had his debut in the Wick game. Got 90 minutes under his belt as well, which is great. Having not played for and not played 90 minutes certainly for some time, as he was saying. And he comes maybe with a wee bit of a point to prove as well. That maybe he should have been the number 9 at Huntly and just didn't get his chance. And hey, if he comes and does that for us, then that can only be to our benefit. And in the longer term, obviously looking at his own ambitions, than to his as well. So no, I think it's a cracking signing. Brings something different, and yeah, let's see what we're saying in a few weeks and months' time.
Absolutely, and I absolutely hope he proves that point. Just before we finish up, folks, our next game, we've got Strathspey Thistle away on the 22nd of January. Anything else to add before we finish up, Alan?
Well, Strathspey will be a tough gig going up there. It's never easy. We did pick up the 3 points against them at Princess Royal Park at the start of the season, or early part of the season. 3-0 win. So we're looking to do the double, which will be brilliant if we can. And hopefully, hey, young Caiden can get in about the goals as well. So really looking forward to that. We're back at Princess Royal Park on the 29th. We'll talk about that more on next week's episode. But if anybody's interested in coming along, we'll have the hospitality lounge available hopefully as well. So please do just get in touch with us, and if you are interested in that, then you know where to go. Just head over to the Deveronvale website. It's deveronvale.co.uk, and you'll be able to find all the information that you need. And yeah, just a big thank you to everybody, as we said, with the announcement on Caiden. The social media has been really busy over the last week or so. There was also a fantastic win for the 18s away to Huntly, I think it was as well. So they picked up a 4-0 victory on the road, which is great. So the young lads really having a brilliant season so far. Obviously, just the disappointment of the Scottish Cup exit in December, but they've put that behind them and are roaring up that league again. So congratulations to the 18s, because they're, as I say, they're having a brilliant season, and a good few of those boys with first team exposure too as well now. So only looks good for the future of the Vale, that's for sure.
Absolutely. That's going to do us for this week. Again, this show is brought to you every single week by Motive, and we are here for you on Thursdays and Fridays, depending on our midweek fixture. Please like and subscribe. It really does help support the channel and help support us as a club. And until next time, cheerio, bye.